Now
Okay, November.
this, I want, because this is going to be another hot start.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I don't want full mixture. I want to go to,
No, you always want full mixture.
I want full
the
mixture.
question is, do you want full prime, less prime, little prime, lots of prime?
Okay.
You always start this plan with mixture full forward.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
The thing about hot starts is you want, what did we say before? The thing about hot starts, the problem is, well, this is where people get in trouble, is they could easily flood the engine.
Yeah.
So it's too rich of a mixture.
Yeah.
So what people do, the engine's hot, there's fuel left over in the cylinders which haven't yet had time to drain out. So now they show up.
3113 Papa Palomar Tower to right base, runway 24.
So now they show up, there's fuel in the cylinder, and they just do their normal thing. So full forward, open quarter inch, prime it, right? Because in their head, every time I show up to the plant, I need to prime it.
Yeah.
Now you sent way too much fuel to the engine. So the first thing is this, if it's a hot engine, there's fuel in the cylinders. We just shut the engine off. So we don't need a prime. We don't need to send any more fuel to the engine.
Yeah.
The problem is, have you ever heard of vapor lock?
Yeah.
So now the plane sat here for about 10, 15 minutes.
Yep.
And now in the fuel lines, there's vapor lock going on. So now there's no way for the fuel to go past in the fuel lines to get to the cylinders. So we have a problem. On the one hand, we want to send fuel under pressure through the lines to clear the lines, aka prime.
Yep.
On the other hand, we just said we don't want to prime it because there's too much fuel in the cylinders. So we'll end up too rich. So we have a problem, Jared. On the one hand, to clear the lines, I need a prime. On the other hand, if I prime, it's too rich of a mixture. I'm stuck.
Yep.
That's the $1 million problem with hot starts. Do you hear that?
Yep. Yeah.
So now understanding that, it goes like this. On the one hand, I have enough fuel. On the other hand, I have no choice, but I need to clear the lines. So here's what we'll do. Full mixture. We'll go ahead and go full over here, and then we will prime it, but we won't prime it as you typically would wait for the fuel flow to stabilize. You'll only prime it until this starts moving, and that tells you that the lines are clear.
Okay.
Before we do this, I just want to say a few more things.
Yeah.
By simply doing that and clearing the lines, it's inevitable, but we don't have a choice. But by doing that, we just sent fuel to the cylinders.
Yeah.
So in a sense, we either have too rich of a mixture or really close to it.
What if we were to do boost, and then when we start seeing that come,
so you do want to clear it with prime, the lines, but here's the part, here's where we actually account for the richer than desirable mixture in the cylinders. That's where I say more than a quarter inch, so more air.
Okay.
In a hot start, we need to open the throttle more for more air. Why? Because the assumption is that simply by clearing the lines, I therefore sent fuel to the cylinders, and now there's more fuel in the cylinders than I otherwise would want to have there. I have to introduce more air on startup in order for the fuel to air ratio to be where I want it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So I answer the vapor lock problem by clearing the lines with prime. And I answer the slightly richer than normal mixture by opening the throttle more than a quarter inch. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
And that's why I always say in hot starts, less pump, more air. Less pump, more air. I want to prime for less long. I just want to clear the lines, but then I want to open the throttle more than a quarter inch for the fuel to air ratio to stay constant where I want it.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Good. So what we'll do is, you see this over here? I'm priming it, and it's clear. That's it. See that?
Yeah.
There you go. Now, more than a quarter inch, just about that way. There you go.
Traffic you're in front of is a Cessna joining a 10-mile funnel.
That's it.
Nice.
That's it.
That was fantastic.
Does that make sense?
Yep, that does make sense.
We just cleared the lines and we opened it a little more. So the fuel to air ratio is where we want it.
Yeah.
By simply understanding that, hot starts are no problem. Easy?
Yeah. Easy.